Good morning and welcome to the fourth and final session of our virtual Lunch and Learn series. My name is Melissa Rushaw and I work for the Dubois County SWCD. I facilitate most of the outreach and education that the district provides to the community, including coordinating the operations and research on the Land Stewardship Initiative farm at the Vincennes University Jasper campus. If you missed any of the previous sessions, including last week's interview with 3 local farmers, Alex Hole, Dwayne Hof, and Jack Welp, all of these sessions have been recorded and are available on the Dubois SWCD YouTube channel. If you have any questions during this presentation, please type them into the chat box at the bottom of your screen. I may direct the question to the current speaker, or I may wait until the end of the presentations to ask them. Today we are exploring the financial and technical assistance available to farmers and landowners at the federal, state, and local level. I would like to start today by introducing Dan Lazinski and Taylor Gundlach of the NRCS, the National Resources Conservation Services. Good morning, gentlemen. Could you please share with us some of the background about NRCS and some of the technical and financial assistance that is available through your organization?
Hi, I'm Dan Lazinski. I'm with the Natural Resources Conservation Service with the United States Department of Agriculture. I am a resource management specialist out of the Southwest area office in Indiana. I oversee 23 counties, their DCs and SOLCONs, and assist them in assisting our landowners. I provide technical assistance in planning to our DCs and SOLCONs as well as our landowners. Today, I'm going to give you an overview of what NRCS does for our landowners through this great nation. So NRCS, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, who we are, what we do, and how do we do it. We basically have DCs in every 92 counties in Indiana. Some DCs have multiple counties, so we don't actually have 92 DCs, but we have 92 counties and our partnerships in those counties. So the NRCS and our conservation partners serve our landowners, American farmers, forest landowners, range, pasture, backyard conservation. So we deal with individuals that are large farmers as well as individual landowners that may own an acre or 2 of land. And we provide them with assistance in conservation planning to protect our soil, water, air, plant, animals, energy, and human resources. 70% of our land is privately owned by individual landowners as a large amount. So that is a voluntary program with the NRCS. So when a producer or a landowner comes into our office or requests our help or information, we are dealing strictly with those people on a volunteer basis. Feeding the population on a shrinking land base is going to be a real challenge. As NRCS employees, we provide technical assistance to those people and to our farmers to help produce sustainable agriculture and nutritious food to help feed, that you can see on this chart, potentially 9 billion people by 2050. That is a daunting task, and our farmers have to feed the world. And we try to help those farmers each and every day to protect their soils that produce your food and provide clean water and fresh air. Farmland is disappearing at a global rate. Fertile farmland is drying up. The population is growing. We are losing farmland every day. In the US alone, between 1982 and 2007, 14 million acres of prime farmland was lost to development. If we don't get a handle on part of this, which we probably won't because it's a population that's ever growing, but we will have less farmland to produce more food, which is a real challenge. Part of our mission with USDA, Natural Resources Conservation Service, is helping people help the land. When we say that, we try to help people to be better stewards of the land, to provide conservation planning to them. Besides planning and helping them fix like gullies, wind erosion, invasive plant species on their forests, we are also provide them with engineering, survey, and design work for those practices that would help control soil erosion protect our water, such as putting filter strips in, grass waterways. There's also a need to mitigate the impact of weather change, and we do this through soil health and sustainable agricultural practices, such as cover crops, no-till, pest and nutrient management, putting filter strips in next to waterways. All things that help conserve the soil and protect the water and help freshen the air. So a clean forest that doesn't have a lot of invasive species is real good for the environment, for the air. Diverse crop rotations, just corn, beans, and wheat with a cover crop mixed in there to help protect the soil 24/7, 365. So we don't have dirty water running off as seen on this slide here, where that is actually a gully starting to form out in that field. We don't want to see dried up, cracked soils. That's not a healthy soil environment. So we try to provide those information to farmers and our landowners to help them protect their soil and have fresh, clean water. So producers come to us searching ways to optimize inputs and maximize their profits while responding to the environmental pressures. Here you see a farmer that is going in and spraying pesticides over their crop. Part of our job as technical experts is to help look at soil tests and identify pests that may be in the field through scouting programs. These farmers may also work with certified crop consultants, to look at the pests that are in their field and see if is there a environmental threshold and something that is detrimental to their crops, and do they need to get out and spray, and that we're spraying the right chemicals at the right time at the right place in the right amount, so that we're not over applying nutrients or pesticides to the environment, so that it is utilized as needed and not leached into the soil or run off into the water. Volunteer conservation works. It is a way that we help people help the land. Again, we help our farmers, our backyard conservationists, our forest people, and all those that come to us for assistance. We provide them that. And now I'd like to turn it over to Taylor Gunlich, who is the DC in Dubois County in Jasper, Indiana.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Gunlock. I am a district conservationist for the Natural Resources Conservation Service based out of Dubois County, Indiana. Now, my office is in Jasper, Indiana. And if you want to get a hold of me, my number is 812-482-1171, extension 3. Now I may be picking up that call, or it may be one of my colleagues at the Soil and Water Conservation District. We work very closely with each other, and it is a very good relationship there. So what a district conservationist is I am your point of contact for everything Nrcs in Dubois County, Indiana. Okay, so we offer a lot of programs. It's impossible to go over every program in the time I have allotted, but I will try and touch on the main parts. I will try to touch on what is most prevalent in our county. Okay, so we have two types of programs: financial assistance and technical assistance programs. For the technical assistance programs, that is basically just me coming out to your operation and telling you what I see, telling you from my personal experience and my training with the Nrcs what would be best to enhance your operation. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what to do on your ground. I am just going to tell you from my experience and from my training, this is the best thing to do in your situation. Now, if you want any federal dollars attached to that, we also have financial assistance program. That bulk of my job right there is providing people with funding so that they can enhance their operation and take care of any issues that may exist. Now, this can be on cropland, pasture land, forest land, animal feeding operations, or other. So the main issues that we have on cropland in this county stem from erosion and soil health. So if you have a gully running through your ground, if you can tell you are visibly losing ground every year, we can help you install dry dams, grassed waterways. We can help you pay for cover crops. We can also tell you what cover crops to plant if you honestly don't know. So we can tell you when, how, what to plant. All of those. We also pay for a lot of cover crops on reclaimed coal mine ground. So if you have reclaimed coal mine ground, give me a call and we can help you recover that land and make it profitable for the future with cover crops, okay? If you have pasture land, a lot of what I do on pasture land is help people see a bigger picture, help people improve their ground with getting better grazing, with getting better grasses. This often happens by paying for livestock watering facilities, livestock pipelines, improved grazing operations, grass plantings. So it just depends on what the issue is on the ground. We also pay for a lot of stuff on forest land. For that always stems from forest health being impacted by invasive species like bush honeysuckle and just having too many trees. Having a high density of trees is not very good for the overall health of that forest. We can help you remedy those situations. We can pay for you to remedy those situations. And if you have animal feeding operations, if you raise cows, turkey, sheep, lamb, llamas, emu, alpacas, whatever you raise out there, the main issue that we have in this county is people not having anywhere to store the manure until you spread it on your ground or until you can sell it. We pay for a lot of manure barns. Okay, that's our main thing that we deal with on animal feeding operations. So in this little of time, I could not have gone over everything that we pay for, everything that we do. So my name is Taylor Gunlock. I am a district conservationist for the Natural Resources Conservation Service in Dubois County, Indiana. If you have questions, if you are having issues on your ground, if you would like me to come out and take a look out there and see what we can do together to improve your ground for the longevity of your operation, give me a call at 812-482-1171, extension 3. And as Dan Lozinski said, helping people help the land is what we at the Nrcs do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Working with the Nrcs and right next door to our office is FSA. Sam Fleener will share with you some of the resources that her staff can help you with.
Hi, my name is Samantha Fleener and I work for the Farm Service Agency. I am the County Executive Director in the Dubois County office here in Jasper, Indiana. I work with a small staff in the Jasper FSA office to administer multiple programs that allow our farmers and landowners to better manage their ground. If you are viewing this video and you are not a Dubois County landowner or operator, you may contact your local FSA office for more information, and they will be able to assist you with any questions that you may have. The FSA office can assist landowners and their operators with signing up for many different programs. The programs I am mentioning today are just a few of the programs that we offer. The first program I want to mention is the Agricultural Risk Coverage and Price Loss Coverage Program, also known as ARC PLC. This program is the annual safety net program that our customers sign into if their farms are eligible. The ARC PLC program is never a guaranteed payment, but when crop prices and the yield fall below a nationally set rate, customers who enrolled in the program may receive payments on their eligible farms. The second program I want to mention is the Conservation Reserve Program, also known as CRP. This program protects more than 20 million acres of American soil from erosion and is designed to protect a few of our natural resources. CRP is an excellent option for customers who have environmentally sensitive agricultural land that may be best suited for a conservation practice instead of being farmed. CRP contracts are multi-year contracts ranging anywhere from 10 to 15 years. During the life of the CRP contract, you may be required to complete mid-contract management activities to help take care of the practice. In return for placing your ground in the CRP program, you will receive an annual rental payment for the life of the contract. Your local FSA office will work on determining eligibility, and once the ground is deemed eligible based on cropping history and ownership, we will work with the Nrcs office and they will provide the technical assistance and planning needed for the contract. We also provide price support options for our customers. One of the options available to our grain farmers is marketing assistant loans, which you may hear us call commodity loans or MALs. When a customer wants to apply for a commodity loan, they place harvested grain that is still on hand under loan. We loan them money on that grain, and as they haul it to the elevator, they pay us back. These loans are only good for 9 months. As I stated in the beginning, we have FSA offices throughout the state that can assist customers with their needs. You may visit any office in the state and they will be able to get you started with information about our programs and what may be available for your operation. While we are currently not allowing customers in our offices due to COVID, we are taking phone appointments and sending applications through email or mail. The Dubois County office is also willing to set documents outside should you want to pick up additional information. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks, Samantha. I'll go ahead and take over for now. My name is Judy Brown, and I'm the Executive Director of the Soil and Water Conservation District. And I'd like to share a little bit of information about who we are and what we do. We are co-located in the USDA Service Center, so we're in the same office as the Natural Resources Conservation Service. And we're also co-located with the State Department of Ag staff as well. So the Soil and Water Conservation District is a unit of state government, but we are based locally in the county, and we work to promote soil health and clean water and reduce soil erosion in the county. Our SWCD supervisors create work plans, and in those plans, they identify and prioritize the natural resources concerns in the county. And then the plan also details the way that the SWCD provides information and also technical and financial assistance to the landowners as we help them conserve our natural resources for future generations. So currently in our work plan, the critical natural resource priorities that we focus on are stormwater runoff, the quantity of that, as well as the velocity, and then the associated erosion, flooding, nutrient loss, and water contamination that comes from that runoff. Soil health is another. Nutrient management, both manure and chemical fertilizers. Invasive and noxious plant species. Urban nutrient and pesticide runoff. Forestry, and loss of pasture. So those were the critical areas that the supervisors decided they wanted to focus on. So we address them in a couple of different ways. And the primary way is through the staff, the efforts of our staff. All of the county, Dubois County SWCD staff is funded through Dubois County government. And then we also offer cost share incentives to the landowners. The cost share funds are obtained through grants primarily Clean Water Indiana grants offered through the State Department of Agriculture's Division of Soil Conservation, or we also use funds that are earned by the SWCD through contribution agreements. Another source of funding is 319 grants, which we partner with other SWCDs on these projects, and those are funded through the EPA, the US EPA, through the Clean Water Act. So one of our current Clean Water Indiana funded projects is our Tri-County Invasive Species Initiative. Our invasive species specialist is Emily Finch, and she's funded using the grant funds. And she is available to assist landowners with questions about invasive species on their property. And we do have a couple of other projects that involve pasture management. And at this time, I'm going to pass this to our resource specialist, Justin Berry, who's going to share some information about what he does and a little bit more information about those other clean water projects that we have. Thanks for being here. And Justin, go ahead.
Yes, I'm Justin Berry. I work for the district here as the resource specialist, and we offer cost share opportunities, as Judy said, with money mostly from Clean Water Indiana. We currently have a livestock grant that ends this year. We have some money left in that. We offer cost share on heavy use area protection, which is basically a gravel feed pad, which is good for winter and to keep nutrients in a easy to clean off area. Basically it's got lime, so when you scrape it off to go spread it on, you're also adding a good portion of lime to your field. We can cost share on a watering facility, which is basically a feeding pad with an automatic waterer on top of it. And lastly on that grant, we offer a Pasture Innovation, which basically keeps the correct species and fertilization to give animals good nutrition and lessen erosion with a good stand of grass. We have a new livestock grant coming online this year. Stay tuned for details on that. We don't know a whole lot about it, but check on our website. In the past, we've offered cover crop grants. We currently have no money for that, but be on the lookout for that in the future. And if you have any resource concerns, you can contact me here at the office and I can give advice, come out and do field checks, field walks with you, and possibly give you cost share opportunities or point you in the right direction of how to address some of your resource concerns.
Thank you very much, Justin. Next up, we have Julie Lair. Julie, would you please share some information about the current 319 grants?
Sure, no problem. Well, hi, my name is Julie Lair, and I am working in Dubois, Davies, Martin, Pike, and Gibson counties as a watershed coordinator. Currently in Dubois County, there's actually two separate projects we're working on. The way a watershed project works is, first of all, you need to have a watershed management plan developed, written, and approved. And then after that, you can request funding for best management practices to be put down on the land that would improve water quality. So it's that watershed management plan, what we call a WMP, that would direct where the BMPs would be implemented and how and that sort of thing. So right now with the Middle Patoka River Watershed Project, we're kind of wrapping up. There was a watershed management plan that was written, and then there was a round, what we call a round of implementation. Some funds were secured and best management practices were put on the ground. And we're currently in a second round of implementation, and I have about $60,000 left to spend on best management practices, like Justin was talking about earlier, that would help improve water quality, a heavy use area protection or pasture improvement, that sort of thing. My caveat on that is the $60,000 has to be spent on something before August of 2021. So I'm currently looking for producers who may have put in cover crop last fall 2020. See me if you are in the critical areas around Huntingburg. There's 4 sub-watersheds around Huntingburg area, kind of even down into Ferdinand, that would qualify. So if producers have cover crop last fall that they haven't got any reimbursement from, they can contact me and I can run latitude, longitudes on those lands and see if they qualify for funding. I have $60,000 So that's a lot of money. So they might want to contact me. In terms of the lower East Fork White River watershed, that's in a different section. That is currently under watershed management plan writing. And as soon as that gets approved by EPA, we'll have $161,000 to spend in the critical areas. For Dubois County, that would be the Birch subwatershed first. And then if we get some round of implementation on Birch, then we'd look toward Mill subwatershed after that. So after that watershed management plan is approved by EPA, I'm going to be looking for what I call stakeholders, a producer, common citizen, someone who has land, that sort of thing, to get with me, because we're going to sit down and devise how that money will be spent, what best management practices will be used, and that sort of thing. So if you're in that Birch subwatershed or Mill subwatershed, you might want to get back with me also. You can always call or text me, 812-779-7924. And we can get together with how I can help you out in the Middle Patoka or the lower East Fork White River watersheds in Dubois County. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julie. Andrea, I believe you have some things to share with us about the Infield Advantage program that the state offers.
I do. Hi, my name is Andrea Gogol, and I'm a resource specialist for the Indiana State Department of Ag. I work closely with the Princeton Tech team, assisting with the engineering workload in Southwest Indiana. Another program that ISDA has is the Infield Advantage program. The Infield Advantage has partnered with the BEX hybrids to offer farmers an opportunity to evaluate cover crops on their farm. You guys may typically remember what we had in the past where we did corn stalk sampling, where we were checking for nitrogen within the corn stalk. We've kind of done away with that program because we had too many variables. So we're offering this cover crop program to where we're doing strip trials. BEX hybrid is fronting the cover crops for up to 20 acres on each field that we can get into the program. The people that we're trying to target for this program is people that are new to cover crops or have not planted cover crops in the last 3 years. They need to be able to provide previous and anticipated cropping and management details within the group leader. I am the group leader for Dubois County. We only want one field per participant this year, and we will need to have all fields registered by March 12th. The field size that we're looking for is roughly a 40-acre field, to where we can split the field in half, 20 acres on one side and 20 acres on the other, where we put cover crop on the one and no cover crop on the other. The data that we will be gathering from these fields is we'll be doing a soil sampling, we will be doing soil health assessments, the landowner will be getting free cover crop for that 20 acres, and then we will also be doing biomass sampling on that field. The two different types of blends that we are providing, that BEX is providing, it depends on if you're going to be going ahead of soybeans or going ahead of the corn. We offer the oat radish blend, and then we also offer the winter ryegrass and the rapeseed blend. So the producer incentives is you guys get 20 acres of cover crop seed free from BEX Hybrid. You guys will also be getting soil samples from us. We will be doing a biomass sampling on your field. And for first time farmers, you guys will get a $200 sign up, one-time sign up incentive, as long as you guys are registered with your FSA office. And if you guys are interested in this program anymore, you can contact me at the Indiana State Department of Ag. Here I'm located at the Jasper office. My cell is 812-480-1498. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea. That actually kind of reminds me, can we kind of go back and have everyone kind of give a what's the best way of getting a hold of you? So what's your preferred way of being reached? Do you want people to email you or to call you on your cell phone? Andrea?
You can call me on my cell phone or email.
Okay. Julia, what's going to be the best way for people to get a hold of you? Do you prefer emails or do you prefer phone calls? She might have stepped away, so we'll pull that up later. Justin, do you want people to email you or to call you at the office? What's going to be the best way to get a hold of you?
Honestly, probably the best way to get a hold of me would be an email, but also call here at the office. And if I'm out in the field or something, just leave a voicemail.
Okay, that's going to be probably the best way to get a hold of me as well. If you call the district office, the phone number is 812-482-1171, extension 3. And honestly, we can transfer those calls to Nrcs, to Taylor. We can transfer those to Andrea, myself, or Justin. Julie, can you pop back on and tell us what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, people can email me at julia.loehr at the in.nacdnet.net email. But also my cell phone is available during the day for calls, 812-779-7924, and I accept text messages as well.
Thank you very much. So I am the final person on the panel here, and as I mentioned in session 1, the district has a soil health test kit, and I would love to come to your farm and do some tests and some assessments on your soil and the health of your soil. So we can, if you pull a sample and dry it out, we can run that Slake test. We can see how quickly soil degrades when we put it in the water, so you can have an idea of when it rains, how much water is running off. When we're out there in the field, we can do that slump test. We can look to see if the soil aggregates are holding together. I have water infiltration rings. I can bring those out and we'll hammer those into the soil and pour an inch worth of water in that circle and see how quickly it gets absorbed into the soil. And how many inches of water your whole field can hold in an hour or in a rainstorm. It's not about how much rain you get, it's how much rain infiltrated into the soil that your crops can use. We have the ability to measure cation exchange capacity. We can also measure the nitrates, phosphates, and pH levels in your soil or in your tile water. And that cation exchange capacity is directly related to those other numbers. Soil has a negative charge, and nitrates and phosphates want to flow out of those tiles. They don't stay in the soil as well because of their charge. So we can kind of have an idea of how much nutrients your soil can hold. I'm willing to come out the night before, set some insect traps so we can see what kind of insects you have roaming and flying around your fields. Are they beneficials? Usually 99% of the insects you find in your field are beneficials, and every so often, occasionally 1 or 2 of them are pests. We can dig a hole, look for compaction layers. And as of the filming of this session, I have a microscope on loan. So if you want to look into the microorganisms in your soil, we can identify what's living in your soil, and then I can explain to you how they work in conjunction, what eats what, and what the benefits of each of those are. So I think that wraps up today. Does anyone have any questions for any of the other speakers? If not, thank you very much for your time today. We just gave all the contact information for all the different speakers and all the programs that we can offer. We would love to come to your farm to assist you with anything you need. It was really our goal is to get conservation on the ground. If we can keep soil healthy and functioning and water clean, it's just going to be a benefit to the entire world. Thank you very much and have a great day.